The news day continues here on One News Now. I'm Riza Diaz. NBN ZTE deal whistleblower June Losada voluntarily surrendered to authorities after the Supreme Court upheld his conviction in a graft case. Faith Del Mundo with a story.
NBN ZTE deal whistleblower June Losada was emotional after surrendering to the National Bureau of Investigation. Recall that the Supreme Court affirmed his conviction in a graft case in 2016. His brother Jose Orlando Losada is also convicted for graft. June Losada said that all he can do is pray, as he believes that his conviction is related to him testifying in the multi-million NBN ZTE deal involving former President Gloria Macapagal Arroyo.
Prayer's my only refuge now. In a place like this, wala ka talaga. Is that God allows me to get out of this place and I'll prove to my children. At sa lahat pa ngayon na nanonood sa atin, na ang kabutihan hindi matatalo ng kasamaan talaga. Yeah, they might win a few battles like this. Hindi pa naman tapos buhay ko eh.
Despite this, Losada said that he does not regret his decision to become a whistleblower.
My enemies might have succeeded in, now they're sending me to prison. I'm in prison now, no? So, but they will never succeed na pagsisihin nila ako na pumanig ako sa katotohanan at sa taong bayan.
However, his children can't accept the fact that he will be imprisoned for standing up for the truth.
Sabi nga niya na ayaw niya na maniwala sa kabutihan. Kasi lagi raw lugi ang gumagawa na mabuti sa bayan natin. So I was doing my best to convince my son otherwise, no? That no, goodness is the right path. Ganyan, no? Lagi kang talo, lagi tayong talo. So at this point, no matter how, sabi ko na, hindi, evil will never win. Ano ba, how can you say that ikaw ang pupunta sa bilibid?
Losada and his brother are sentenced to a maximum of 10 years in jail in a case stemmed from the awarding of over 6 hectares of public land to Orlando under a program of state-owned Philippine Forest Corporation. Losada was the president of PhilForest at the time. From the NBI Manila detention cell, the Losada brothers will be transferred to the New Bilibid prison to serve their sentence. For News 5, Faith Del Mundo, we are One News.
One media watchdog warrants against the accreditation of vloggers to cover President-elect Bongbong Marcos. In an interview with 1PH sa Totoo Lang, Center for Media Freedom and Responsibility trustee Vergel Santos said that the Malacanang press corps should go against the accreditation. Santos said that a line should be drawn between legitimate journalists and those who are not.
Ang kailangan ng mamamahayan ngayon lumaban talaga ng ito. Ang teknolohiya, napapaboran yung mga vloggers at mga trolls. So kaya may humihirap lalo ang lagay ng mga lehitimong mga mamamahayan. Pero wala tayong magagawa, kailangan ilaban yan kung gusto nyo na maayos ang ating sosyedad at manatili ang ating demokrasya.
Santos also notes that vloggers and journalists are not the same, highlighting that anyone can be a vlogger, but not everyone can be a journalist. Santos added that vloggers cannot be held liable for their wrongdoings as they are only responsible for themselves.
Ang tingin ko, gustong sapawan yung mga legitimate na mamamahayag. Sa dami ng vlogger, pag yan ang mga ipinasok mo, they will fill the air, no? The airwaves and cyberspace na puro vlogs na lang. Ang mangyayari na yun, masasapawan yung mga talagang tunay na mamamahayag. Kaya makakatakot ito. Dahil sa ating arrangement, ang demokrasya, ang binibigyan ng kahalagahan, ay ang mamamahayag sapagkat iyan ang watchdog, bantay ng tao. Yung vloggers, wala, bantay lang ng sarili nila yun.
The National Museum of Fine Arts will be temporarily closed to the public in preparation for the inauguration of President-elect Bongbong Marcos. The National Museum announced that its Fine Arts building will be closed starting June 6 to July 4. It will reopen on July 5th at 9 in the morning. Meanwhile, the National Museums of Anthropology and Natural History will continue regular operations. We'll be back with more stories after the break. Keep it here on One News. You're still watching One News Now. I'm Riza Diaz. Conservationists in Kenya are trying to save the northern white rhino from extinction using IVF. More details in this Bloomberg video. Ano daw?
gone into preparing the necessary equipment and procedures for oocyte collection or collection of the eggs from the two females that exist that are here on Opejeta, Nain and Fatu. And that has actually taken place on severally, and we have managed to create successfully at least 14 embryos that are now preserved in liquid nitrogen for the purposes of implantation on surrogate females, southern white rhino surrogate females here on Opejeta. Procedures for implantation have not been so successful, and therefore the need to perfect on that before you use the pure northern white rhino embryos. We've been trialing out using southern white rhino embryos to see to it that the procedure is perfected before you use the very precious northern white rhino materials or embryo in the procedure. But we are optimistic that over time this is a hurdle that we will jump or cross.
Sci-fi horror series Stranger Things is back with season 4 and is already topping Netflix viewership records. MJ Marfori with a story.
The most popular teen stars in the planet are back with a bang. After the debut of Stranger Things Season 4 Volume 1, the show raked in record-breaking numbers. News 5 got the chance to exclusively chat with the main characters of the series here in Sydney, Australia. Stranger Things 4 Volume 1 just debuted last weekend, and it is the biggest premiere ever for an English title on Netflix, with more than 286 million watch hours. One to watch out for this season is Sadie Sink's impressive performance, which some say deserves an Emmy nomination.
I don't know. I mean, that's really nice of them to say. It was a really fun, crazy season to film.
Season 4 Volume 1 picks up from the battle at Starcourt Mall. This is also the first time that the gang separated, with Elle leaving Hawkins to go to California for high school.
And just incredible, and I think we expand upon what we did in part 1 quite nicely. And I think we wrap up the season in a really exciting way.
Fans can now watch the latest season of Stranger Things on Netflix. From Sydney, Australia, and for News 5, MJ Marfori, we are One News.
Let's now take a quick look at today's other top stories. The Health Department confirms the detection of 2 cases of the BA.5 Omicron subvariant in the Philippines. The Health Department warns of, quote, operational implications if government lifts the state of public emergency in the country. And Turkey is hoping to rebrand its global image, starting with an official name change. And those are the top stories of the hour. Join us later at 12 noon as we continue to monitor the day's biggest stories. You can also catch One News on Signal Play app. Register for a free account now at www.signalplay.com and stream One News live anytime, anywhere. I'm Riza Diaz. Mask on, wash hands, and stay safe, Philippines. We are One News.